Welcome to another Q&A. This one is requested by a Welshman, Julian Pearce. And he is a long time Reach It customer, and he's come and go in the meantime. He's actually been to other brands and come back, and been to other brands and come back. And we've had a very long relationship, with him. And he's asked me to talk about the UK market because he's flipped between the traditional thinking of the UK customer market and the Reach It thinking. And his question is basically, what is it with the UK market such that they are obsessed with lightweight, short life poles and super lightweight brushes with it, which don't have efficiency in them? Right? It was basically like that. In other words, the Reach It philosophy is diametrically opposed to the core thinking of the industry in the UK. And I've thought about that a lot, the UK market, as people who know me and our British customers, and they all know that I think about it from time to time about what is the UK, the secret product for the UK. Now, in my opinion, we're getting very close with the light and the ultralight. We've got loads of guys who have bought loads of those brushes, right? And they're not throwing them away. I mean, guys who have expanded or guys who have got teams. So we know for the UK market, the light and the ultralight, we kind of made an efficient brush that is lightweight, so it fits the mentality and the philosophy of the UK indoctrination, for want of a better word, right? So if you go back in history, those of you who are old enough to know about VHS tapes, right? There was VHS and Beta. And Beta was a better system, but VHS had better marketing, so everybody ended up on VHS. So, and sometimes it is like that, where the marketing methodology or the marketing story, the first story told is the story that lasts longest, or all sorts of reasons why the principles introduced by Gardner have sustained as part of the market attitude, as from a consumer point of view. And I respect that, because if you go back to when Alex Gardner was talking about those things, I think his points were very relevant, because we were coming into the carbon fiber market, which is when I joined. We only ever made carbon fiber poles, but from when I was a window cleaner before I started being a manufacturer, then I was using fiberglass poles and hybrid fiberglass carbon fiber poles. So that was the generation that he was growing up in. So he's going from heavy poles to light. And then, of course, he was using pencil jets. So then you're doing an off-glass rinse. So then again, light makes a difference. Ergonomics didn't really come into anything at that point, but also there was just this thing about the consumerization of an industrial product. That's why I see it, is that, the built-in obsolescence. The poles are meant to last a year. You replace your pole every year. It's got to be cheap for that to work, right? Because stuff that you don't have to replace every 10 years, which is like most of our products for most of our customers, the poles are a 10-year lifespan. And so we make a high-quality product that lasts a long time and costs a lot. You can make a cheaper product that doesn't cost so much. You make it with cheaper materials. You make the pole length longer, each section's longer, so you use less materials. And you can use less materials and wall thicknesses and all sorts of things, so that you actually make a cheaper product, so that it is affordable for somebody to say, it's now a disposable. Every year I'm going to get a new pole. Well, when you introduce fiberglass, that's the way you do that. You put fiberglass in the pole because it's much, much cheaper, like a fraction of the price. But then the pole becomes floppy. So once you have a floppy pole, you can't put a heavy brush on it. So then the natural progression from a manufacturer's thought process is to put something very light on it, because otherwise it'll be like a pendulum, So then you've got to go make the brush light. So how do you make a brush light? Well, you make the block smaller. So you run with a 10-inch block or something like that. You put less bristles in it, because bristles are plastic. So the plastic weighs, has weight. So then you have sparse bristle spacing, and you say that it's a feature, but it's not very effective for agitation. but it's a feature because it makes everything lighter. And then you can have a floppy, fiberglass or hybrid pole. And when you go to do off-glass rinse, you can actually have some element of control over it compared to using, like something which would be a heavier brush. And therefore requiring for precision and accuracy, you have to have 100% carbon fiber or high modulus carbon fiber or ultra high modulus carbon fiber. I suppose that's a little bit of a discussion that I'm trying to trigger up, because the people watching this may be coming from the UK market, and the topic is called "What's wrong with the UK with the UK?" or "What's up with the UK market?" And we can encourage you and say, look, we make a better quality product, it'll last a longer time, but it's not the same as what you're using. So then when you go to use it, you may be comparing it to what you're using, and then you may use it the same way as you use what you're using, and you won't change your technique, and then you don't get the advantage of the relationship of a new technique with a new tool that we've developed. And so that's also another problem sometimes we have with bosses. They buy one of our brushes and give it to a technician and say, what do you think? But they don't tell them that it's a new tool and it's got a technique. And if you use the technique, you'll work 3, 4, 5 times faster sometimes. So there's all those sorts of issues of habits and things like that, which we take time to break into. Then we've talked to most of the distributors in the UK market, and they go, the product is too expensive, UK window cleaners are too cheap, they won't pay for that. We have a lot of window cleaners in the UK that do pay for it and buy more and buy more. And so we know that's not true, but it might be from their perspective, they may be happier selling products that they have to replace every 6 months. And that's a better business model, to try and keep their stores turning product, and you just throw the piece of plastic in the bin when you're done with it. So then if I talk frankly, the only thing that we haven't done is developed a brush which has the vertical facing bristle for the sills. And so I'm kind of pondering on that again. I've played with it a few times and I've not really come up with a solution that I like, that's lightweight and can clean sills properly, because I really don't think that single bristle does a whole lot. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we just need to put a single vertical bristle onto one of the light brushes and see if we can get away with that. So that's kind of like the discussion for the UK market. Some guys like our brushes, but some guys will still use a gardener brush because they want to clean the brick sill or the timber sill, which has got the paint on it, because the customer wants that service provided as well. So how do I wrap this up? It's really just to say that if you're in the UK market, I think you should try one of our brushes, the light or the ultralight. The ultralight is crazy light, and it's got really, really effective agitation. And you could try something like that. And there are definitely jobs, like you don't want the same brush for every job. There's definitely inefficiencies in using the same tool for every job. Like the concept of a universal tool is just smacks of inefficiency by the definition of it. It's horses for courses. You want to make sure that you're using the right tool for the right task and that kind of thing. So you could try one of our brushes, maybe the light or the ultralight, and then let that be the benchmark of our quality, and you start experiencing that, then you may come to our poles. Our poles are heavier than some poles, because we've got some logic behind that. We want them to last a long time. We've developed on-glass rinse, so you're never ever taking the brush off the glass except to go from one pane to another, so you're not spending that time of counterbalancing. So we feel that we can give you a much more industrial product, and you can use it efficiently without burning your calories or tiring yourself out, and we can give you a better, more rigid pole. So that's where Julian has been to and fro, right? And he's come back and he's got several of our tactical poles now. So that's my little rant, I think. What do you think, Jen?
Just remember that if they try our brushes, they need to check out the Radial Technique manual.
Yes, so the Radial Technique is available in the store, isn't it? So you could go to futurecleaning.com and you can add it to cart, check out for $0, and then you kind of put a $0 transaction through on PayPal or credit card or whatever. I think that's how it works. And then you'll see the link there, and we also email you the link to download the manual, and then you can see that, or you can go to YouTube and Google and search in YouTube the Radial Technique, and you'll get it that way, and you'll learn a lot about how to get a brush across glass efficiently. And that will translate, if you let it, into your squeegee use as well, because there's another one there, the fastest way to use a squeegee, which is based on the same principles, and I challenge that there is a faster way than what most guys are using from a squeegee perspective as well. Yeah, that's good. And we'd love to have more UK guys in our customer base. And there are a couple of guys that carry product. They don't advertise it, but there are a couple of like window cleaners that actually have product. So sometimes you might buy, like especially in Ireland, we've got a guy there who's got some product. So somebody might want to buy from us and we push you to somebody local, or you might want to be that person. Right? We don't need you to be a supply house to reach it. We just need you to have lots of friends that'll believe you, right? Okay, that'll do us. See you in the next one.